Hi guys, it's Natalie here with the final whistle again. I'm here with Amy from Red Men, Red Women podcast.
Yeah, sort
of. Brilliant. I've seen some of your content. Everyone go and check it out. It's really good. Just hear about how the opposition are doing.
Oh.
Amy, how do you see your start of the season so far, Liverpool side?
I think it'd be wrong to say it's been a necessarily successful start to the season. Obviously, we've come up against teams that, like, no disrespect, that we should be really beating, especially with the caliber of players that we've recruited over the summer. I think more than anything, on a personal level, for me, Spurs was the most disappointing one. Obviously, they've only just come up the same as United, but for me, that was a beatable team, and to only lose by 1 goal and it being a penalty, it was difficult, especially because I thought we played really well in that game and we should have really come up with the 3 points. But it's one of them. It's not the start we wanted, but we've definitely seen like glimpses of really, really good football from all of our players. So it's just kind of getting that final piece together and just start scoring some more goals, really, that we need to start doing.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously we've come up as well, like you said, with Spurs, and we've had a very harder start than them, let's say, to the first and second team. But we took them close. What do you think of our performances so far, Man United?
I think I've been really impressed with how you've sort of dealt with the bigger teams, like to only lose by 1 goal to City on the opening day on that occasion. I thought, and to be honest with you, it's a different game if that Jane Ross chance goes in, then you're looking at being 1-0 up. So I think you've been unlucky in terms of just not getting the first goal to kind of build your momentum up throughout the game. But I think Casey Stoney's recruited ridiculously well over the summer. Like I've said it on our show quite a few times. Jackie Gronin's one of my favorite players, and she's unbelievable. So I think I can understand why you're still on 0 points at the moment, just in terms of the teams that you've come up against. But I'm sure that you're not in any trouble in terms of going back down at the end of the season.
Yeah. Obviously, like us and Spurs, we could both come up. Obviously, Spurs lost the first game, but they did get a point at home. They did get 3 points at home against yourself. That's the difference, though. When you're talking about that Jane Ross chance, that's the difference you can say between the WSL and the Championship. You're only going to get those 1 or 2 chances, and you have to take them. And obviously, if one of them might have been taken, it would have been a different game. Not saying we would have come away with all the points or even with a draw, but to have that first goal. So I hope from our side we're confident still that we can score. Obviously, as I was at Sheffield, I was at your game versus Sheffield. It was a really good game. That was back and forth. You did get 2 goals. Yeah, you didn't win, but do you think that would have given you some confidence? How do you see it now going into our game? How do you see the game maybe panning out? Do you think you're going to come and defend, or do you think it's going to be back and forth?
At the moment, it just feels like we're a team that's quite low on confidence, and I think that if we'd have won that game against Sheffield United, I think it would have given not just the team a little bit more like fire to come to use on this weekend, but it also would light the fans up a little bit. And like we know how painful it was last season to sort of week after week getting out there and getting battered by some teams. Like this season will be a turning point. We've not seen it just yet, but I'm hopeful that we can at least come and pick up a point against you this weekend. 3 points might be a bit of a stretch. I always like to be like hopeful about things, but I think it sometimes is important to be quite realistic. But I definitely think picking up a point is 100% on the cards for us, because I think we're both in similar situations. So not because we obviously had that massive rebuild before last season, and then you reformed again as well. So we're sort of in a similar situation. So I think it's going to be such an interesting game and a great occasion to sort of promote the game and try and make it a rivalry the same as the men's is.
Definitely. Obviously, you say rivalry. we were in front of big crowds. We've had an average attendance of 2K. There's talk that it's going to be over 3,000, maybe 4,000, 5,000 people are going to be there. Obviously, Lee is sort of in the middle, you can say. There's a lot of people who support Liverpool who are from around there. How do you think it's going to go? Are you excited for the game in terms of the fans? Obviously, we've got a big fan group.
Yeah.
So it looked good down where I went to see you lot. So what do you think the fans are going to bring? Do you think they're going to be like the 12th player? How do you see that then going, that little rivalry going?
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. Obviously, I think it's going to be a lot different from the game in the Conti Cup at the start of last season, because I think you've gained quite a lot of following over last season, obviously because you were winning week in, week out, and obviously winning games brings more interest around a club. So I think I'm really quite excited for it. I've not been to Lee before, so that's going to be interesting to come and see what it's like, and just to experience that that atmosphere, and hopefully a few of our fans will be down there as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I saw a little comment from some of your fans saying that you got all these songs and this, that, and the other, so it would be good to have a little bit of back and forth and a bit of, right, like you say, like the men's game, giving it to each other. That's what we all want.
Yeah, the women's game to an extent needs it. I was speaking to someone the other day about the fact that, is it a good thing that there's going to be a rivalry, or is it something that maybe will attract the wrong kinds of people? But I kind of said, like, I think it does need an element of like competitive environment, and sort of not the fans hating on each other, but sort of bantering each other, just because I think if you promote it the same way as it does the men's, like, how much promotion does the men's get when it comes round? It's one of the biggest games on the Premier League calendar, Liverpool versus United. Yeah. So it'd be incredible to have that same sort of exposure around the women's game, to try and promote it in the same way. But I'm looking forward to it. A bit nervous, but yeah, looking forward to it.
Well, I'm nervous as well. I mean, I suppose that I could say we've just come off the back of 2 defeats. Like you said, no one expected it, but I think the fact we didn't score, that's what made me nervous. If we had lost like 2-1 on both occasions, I would have been like, right, okay. But I think the fact that we didn't score, but we had chances, it is a positive for us, but also makes me nervous. Yeah. And so now the pressure's on that we have to score, and I think, hopefully, maybe a 3-0 to us. But obviously, what do you think?
I'd love to say 2-0 to us, to be honest, but I think it'll be a draw, maybe a 1-1 or a 2-2. I think there's going to be quite a few goals, but I think it might be a draw.
Well, hopefully I'll see you down there. Hopefully I see loads of Liverpool down there, and like you say, that's what we always want. We want, fans to come, sing their songs, have a banter, have a back and forth. Yeah. And I know from following the girls that they love it, so your girls probably will love it too. And that electric atmosphere is what we try and bring at Leeds. So hopefully all the Reds come out, United Reds, not as many Liverpool Reds. If they do, it'll be fun, man. I can't wait. I'll see you down there. Thanks a lot for speaking to us. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Thanks.